guys, another Boom Beach warships video here. This is my mini account. Want to kind of give you a quick update on my warships strategy recently. As you can see, I'm 9 out of 10, and I thought I'd share a couple of thoughts that I'm seeing on my attacks and the opponent's attacks. So as you can see, 9 out of 10, generally speaking, in the 210 to 220 range for my victories for time remaining. A couple of outliers. That one was 156 in a loss, and I'll show you a mistake that I made on that one. And then again, more 210. This one's a little bit longer, but again, 210, 220-ish range. So what I've been noticing to analyze my opponent's attack strategies is that if you take a look at the base layout, there's three basic ways that you can come at this. From the left, from the middle, so from the left along the left-hand side, from the middle right into the meat of my defenses, or along the right-hand side and come around this way and sweep across the back of the warship to the left. In these 10 attacks, I did a quick count. 6 of them were on the left, 2 of them were up the middle, and 2 of them were on the right, including the one that I lost on. To kind of give you a little bit of an indication of what the one on the left looks like, here's the opponent attacking from the left. So you'll see that this person came in with, it looks like 2 Zuka, 2 Bombardier, and 4 Heavy Chopper with Spark and Critters, I'm assuming, not sure, but doesn't matter. A couple of things I want to point out here. One is that you can see that my damage amplifier is here kind of in the middle with a lot of defenses that are being amped by that damage amplifier, but there's also a bunch of defenses up in front here that the opponent has to get through in order to get to the meat of my base. So you'll see that as they start using some GBE here, they have less for the main area of my base. You'll see that here. So if I let this run, and I'm going to fast forward a little bit here, you see that the person does a shock right there. The other thing to notice here is that you notice these 2 guys, the 2 Bombardiers all the way back in that corner over there that just took out that mortar. It's a small thing, but they're distracted long enough that they are not entering the battle for real until, a couple of seconds later. It buys me a little bit of extra time for the victory here. So again, my base is not going to stop anybody. I realize that this is totally an offensive geared game, and I'm not expecting my base to stop people from finishing all 5 engine rooms, but the longer it takes them, the more likely it is that I'm going to get a victory. And I'm not even looking for victories, I'm just looking for a good strategy. This person actually did a really good shock right there on a couple of my key defenses, and then they just worked their way up the base here with using medkits and keeping their Zuka alive and working, etc., up the base. So that's the left-hand side attack strategy. The up the middle attack strategy, I like this one quite a bit, is the first attacker here. So the enemy comes in with, let's see what they come in with. I believe it's 4 Heavy Chopper, 4 Bombardiers. Now they're going right into the meat of my defenses here with the damage amplifier. And then the key thing to note is that they have to go, so they started the attack with 203 left. It took them a full minute to get to, I'm going to fast forward this a little bit here. It took them a full minute to get to the first engine room that they're going to be attacking, and then another like 12 seconds or 13 seconds, something like that, ridiculous, to finish off that first engine room. Now those engine rooms are important, obviously, that's how you win. But the other thing to note is that those engine rooms, the more you destroy, the more GBE you get back as a result, right? The other thing I want to note here, as you'll see here, right? So at I think the 50, yeah, there you go. So at the 40-something mark, 48, 47, 46, 45 is when they first destroy the engine room. There's a second one gone, but watch this. Now, instead of turning to the right, to the other engine rooms, you notice that half of his army here has turned to the left to try to attack these last 3 outliers. So that distraction also... So again, the opponent has to use a flare to kind of get back over to the other engine room, and the Bombardiers are still kind of in range of that mortar. You'll see them take one more pot shot at the Bombardiers and take out one of them, I think. But you see, there it is right there. Ta-da, there it goes, flying, 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 and sorry, buddy. And so you can see that little bit of a distraction helps a little bit in the victory. So that is analyzing the defense. I will show you the loss, my one loss out of the last 10. I'll show you what the opponent did. They didn't do anything different. Oh, I'm sorry. They did go from the right-hand side, and they went more aggressively targeting my engine room. So you'll see them come in with, I think it's heavy choppers and rocket choppers. Oh, sorry, heavy choppers and bombardiers. Right, so, and they bring Kavan, I believe, for the second wind. So they just kind of blast through the defenses along the right-hand side, and they actually did a really smart thing here. They shock the shock launcher, and then they go, as soon as they get to the meat of my defenses, they go after the engine and the cores, and they save all their GBE for shocks at that point, right? So you see that they just bypassed the rest of my defenses and went straight for that last engine room to kind of take it out. So well done, great attack. So that is the analysis of the defense. Now, for me, if you've watched any of my earlier videos, you'll know that my strategy has always been to split my attacks, split my landings where I can. So give you a little bit of some of my attacks, right? So there's the if I split my if the engine rooms are laid out such that one engine room is off by itself over here, I'll go and split my defense, my landing over there. So the majority of my troops are over here, and I'll land one boat of bombardiers all the way over here, because nothing over here outranges my bombardiers. So my bombardiers will outrange the machine guns, will outrange the cannons. The only thing that could possibly damage them is rocket launchers, prototype weapons like SIMOs, or the boom cannons, and there's none over here, so I just kind of let them do their thing. In the meantime, I'll focus my army over here. The other thing that I want to note here is that I don't generally use GBE to burn down an engine room, because the engine rooms, especially with the building health boost after the 5th engine room, the engine rooms have 100k health, so there's no point in trying to burn that down. Instead, I use you can see here my massive set of barrages. I'm trying to take out the key defenses, so rocket launchers, shock launchers, etc., to try to hopefully help my guys survive. Now, the shock launchers are troublesome because of the fact that the Zuka are in range. If the shock launcher targets the heavies in front, the Zukas generally take a little bit of damage as well. In the meantime, my little guys down here have been, happily taking out the engine room, and then they take out some additional defenses, and I keep working my way over here to the last couple of engine rooms on this side. So that's my strategy with a 2-way split. The other strategy that I use is a 3-way split in the case where the person has engine rooms in the 3 corners that border the landing area, right? So again, same thing over here. The majority of my defenses, or the majority of my troops land over here, and on this side I'll land one boat of bombardiers on each engine room, and then I'll just kind of focus back over here. Oh, sorry, just realized there's a rocket launcher over here that's in range of my bombardier, so got to take that out. Oh, there you go. Shock it just in case it got one more shot off to take out my guys. So again, go back and focus over here, and really just work with the army and get the engine rooms that are in on the right hand side, that are not, I wouldn't say clustered together, but get the ones that are not isolated from the rest. So you see that I'm trying to save my shocks for the defenses that are amped, because I don't want them to take out my heavies or my heavy choppers, and I just kind of work my way up the right hand side here, while these 2 little boats over here take out whatever they have to. If they survive, great. If they don't, that's okay as well, right? So I'm trying to save them a little bit here by dropping some critters to take out those mines. Okay, well done. In the meantime, keep plugging away, and etc. So again, that leads to a victory. And then the third style is where the opponent doesn't have any engine rooms kind of split off. They just have one straight set of deployments, and again, the same thing that I'm doing here. So the thing to notice here is that generally I do, you can see this, right? 3 heavy chopper, 2 Zuka, and 3 bombardiers, primarily to save a little bit of GBE. Otherwise, I would have done 4 and 4, but that, again, as with the Season of Warships, heavy choppers take 8 GBE to land, and 3 bombardiers, I believe, takes 3 more, maybe 6 more, I don't remember. So I try to mix in some Zuka for additional damage and for saving some GBE. So in this case, I just kind of blast my way through the, and this is nothing new, you guys have seen this, you guys have probably done this many times, but just kind of work my way through the base. Again, using my GBE to take out rockets, anything that's amped rockets or shock launchers. Those are the things that I primarily focus on, and then saving some shocks for when I get into the meat of the defenses. One thing that I wanted to call out here is one of my task force mates coined a phrase. I've heard it before, but it's been a while since I've heard it, and he said something. He or she, I don't know, doesn't really matter. Said something like they were in the flow of the game, and I feel like in some of these battles that I'm in the flow of the game, and I can see when the rockets are going to target my Zukas, and so I proactively drop a med kit to make sure that they don't get dinged, especially as I've started working on the 5 engine room bases. What I've noticed is that a lot of people have max level rockets. I don't. Doesn't matter. Max level rockets that are in the effect of a damage amp. If I can't take them out with GBE, I'll try to be proactive about dropping med kits early, so that the rockets trying to shoot earlier aren't able to take out my Zuka. So that's kind of just working my way up the base here. Nothing interesting or exciting here. So that is, I wanted to show you the mistake that I made on the loss over here. So you'll see this and you'll be able to note right away. Again, this is a 3 engine room split. Now the difference is that here, this boom cannon is problematic, right? So after I drop my main forces over here, I go and drop one boat over here and one boat over there, out of range of the defenses. And here's my problem. I dropped that shock way too early. And what ended up happening is that they started firing. My little bombas started firing and taking out the defenses. Great job. Oop, that sniper got one. And then I had to drop a second shock, again, too early. I had to drop a second shock to try to keep these guys alive, and it didn't work because by the time my bombardiers started taking out the boom cannon was already ready to take out both of my. So there you go. 1, 2, 1, and there goes 1. And with his dying breath, he takes out the boom cannon, but there's nobody left to take out the core. So that was the mistake that I made over here, and you'll see that as I work my way through here, everything else goes according to plan, but I'm stuck here with effectively a core that's clear across the warship that I'm going to have to take out and just basically walk all the way over there. So I try to do something, save a little bit of GBE. Okay, forget about that bombardier over there, who cares? Save a little bit of GBE, burn down the machine gun, and then drop critters on the remaining machine gun, so that at least I can start dealing some damage to the core there. And you'll see that as I take this core down, you can see my guys just walk clear across diagonally as far as you can across the warship to get to the last engine room. And that's the reason that, one of the main reasons I think that I ended up with this loss. So there you have it. Hopefully this has been informative or instructive. All right, talk to you guys later.